Welcome to the Skyward Perspective on secrets to raising your data IQ. My name is Kara Burney, and today we'll be talking through how to assess and strengthen your organization's data IQ. We'll cover this topic in 4 segments. First, we'll define what data IQ is and why it's important. From there, we'll discuss tips and frameworks for improving your organization's IQ through improvements in data gathering, analysis, and utilization. This topic is near and dear to our hearts at Skyward because data is the new marketing battleground. While creative used to reign king with scant analytics to hold it to account, well-sourced and well-implemented data is key to taking your go-to-market strategy to the next level. Data allows you to connect with your audiences, better coordinate with your teams, and better secure stakeholder buy-in. Consider this disparity. According to Gartner research, 8 out of 10 CMOs say they anticipate making marketing decisions based on analytics. But 4 out of 10 CMOs say they are just exploring how to use new data. There is a clear gap between organizations who have already unlocked data fluency and those who are still establishing the foundations. No matter where you are in this journey, our session is intended to increase your data IQ so that you organization can reap the advantages. Before we go any further, what is data IQ? Let's define it. Your data IQ is how well your organization gathers, analyzes, and utilizes data when executing your marketing strategy. Think of data IQ as a spectrum. Let's explore the key characteristics of each stage on the spectrum. If your organization is gut-driven, it means you create content based on intuition. Characteristics of a gut-driven organization include a lack of data or data access, decisions which are made largely based on third-party resources, uncertainty about audience needs or competitive positioning, and an inability or unlikelihood of being able to calculate ROI. If your organization is data aware, you typically use data and benchmarks to gauge directional progress. The key characteristics of data-aware organizations include sporadic data analysis, decisions largely based on campaign strategy only, struggles or friction to quantify marketing ROI, you're unsure how to optimize content, and perhaps you're slow to innovate purely because of a lack of access to data needed to push your organization forward. Phase 3 on the spectrum is to be data-driven. Data-driven organizations use performance and set goals using data, but they do so reactively. Characteristics of a data-driven organization include a dependency on an array of performance metrics, meaning you lack focus on the key KPIs. Also, they might frequently readjust strategy based on data and findings. They're also more likely to lack a market perspective and have a reluctancy to innovate without the historical data to justify decisions. That leaves us with the final stage on the spectrum, data empowered. The distinguishing feature of an empowered organization is their proactivity with data. The key characteristics of a data-empowered organization include regularly consulting a mix of data inputs, so you're getting signals from a variety of sources. There's a proactivity with research around competitors and audience trends. And typically, these organizations apply data insights to the creation and improvement of content experiences. Typically, these organizations also seek out opportunities to innovate based on data and inputs they're seeing in the market. Now that we have an understanding of what data IQ is and where on the spectrum you fall, let's discuss how to improve your data IQ, beginning with how to gather great data. In order to gather great data, you must consider 3 things: the velocity, the scope, and the versatility of the data. First up, let's discuss velocity. Velocity is the speed at which data is collected and digested. It can happen fast or slow. Fast data is a marketer's bread and butter. It reveals immediate trends and rapidly validates assumptions. Slow data inputs tend to involve manual processing and are consequently more intermittent. You need both types of data in order to really understand the subject research, whether that be your audience, your market, or your business. Next up, let's discuss data scope. Scope covers the areas that your data focuses on, whether that's your business, your market, or your audience. Business data inputs like sales reports tell you how your business or brand properties are performing. Market data inputs like industry and analyst reports inform you of your industry and market changes and trends. Audience data inputs like social listening or Google search data tell brands about the demographics, interests, and intents of their audience. Let's take a look at how you can combine these two together. On the y-axis, you can see the speed of the data from slow to fast. On the x-axis, you can see the scope of the data from the market, business, or audience perspective. By looking across this grid, we can see how the interplay of fast and slow data and scope of data provides new and interesting insights for your business. There are also varieties in how these sources can interplay for your brand based on your industry. For example, for B2B industries, sales reports are a slower data source. Sales cycles in the B2B industry take months or even years to accumulate. However, e-commerce reports, if you're in an e-commerce oriented business, tend to be a faster data source. They are more real time and you can get faster inputs from checkouts as they're happening in real time. You can also see the beauty of pairing fast and slow data across a variety of different business scopes. For example, let's look at analyst reports, which are a slower data source, and how they might be able to interplay with a faster data source, like your website or advertising analytics. Analyst reports from the likes of Gartner and Forrester provide comprehensive industry perspective. They help you understand how the market is changing over time. This is typically not something that changes every day or every hour. Instead, you need a zoomed out context to understand how your market and your place in it is changing. Pair that with a faster data source of your own first-party business, like web or ad analytics data, and you can understand not only the bigger context, but the real-time insight into what is bringing people to your website today and what messaging is resonating. Play with the interplay between speed and scope of data to unlock greater insights for your business. Lastly, let's discuss data versatility. Versatility is how useful the data is in different scenarios. The versatility of a data input reflects how many scenarios it can be applied to. Audience data, for example, is particularly versatile. As an aggregate, audience behavior patterns often signal market changes and can predict how businesses will be received by customers. To tie these together, think of your data as a layer cake. Insights into your business's performance and market trends are baked into the center. Without them, you have nothing to measure or substantiate your decisions. There's no cake. Audience insights are the icing on the cake. The information can be spread over every aspect of the business, enriching and validating the knowledge you already have. With audience data added into your mix, you have a complete cake and a complete picture of your marketing environment. Now that we've discussed how to gather your data, let's move on to analyzing it. There are a lot of different types of data out there, but today we're focusing on analyzing search and social data, as they are the most ubiquitous and fast-changing across organizations and industries. Search intelligence involves deriving marketing insights from large volumes of search engine data. These can include indicators of audience intent and in digital content authority. Social intelligence involves deriving marketing insights from large volumes of social network data, including what individuals, groups, and companies are saying about specific brands and topics. It can also give insights into how they are sharing and reacting to information in real time. Here are some key search indicators and what they tell content marketers. Click-through rates, search queries, keywords, search engine results, search rates, and search volume. Let's take a closer look at a few of these and what they can do for us. Search queries, for example, help you understand the questions that consumers to your product or service. They provide insight into what is top of mind for your audience and where you have an opportunity to insert your brand into their research process. Search rankings, however, are another metric. These rankings indicate the level of trust and quality of your content. If you're ranking in first page search, not only is your content not deemed valuable by a search engine, but you're also on significant organic traffic. Now let's take a look at some key social indicators. Metrics like click-through rate, interactions, reach, conversations, share of voice, and mention volume. This type of data can tell you what is resonating with your audience, where conversations are happening online, and what options you have to gain a larger scope of conversations on key topics. Once you've gathered and analyzed your data, what comes next? Great data means nothing if it isn't used to change or inform your process. So let's talk about how to utilize your data. Search and social data can be used to inform every step of your content creation process, from planning to ideation, to distribution, to measurement, to optimization. The first step data can be utilized for in your content process is the planning stage. Audience intelligence and benchmarking help you understand the key opportunities where investments will pay off. The next step is ideation. This is where search and social data around trending conversations and which content stands out above the noise will help you identify the core your audience has and where you have an opportunity to deliver answers. The next step is distribution. Utilization comes into play at this stage regarding the opportunities like influencer identification, channel-specific timing, and volume planning. Where, how often, and what you post matters at this stage, and data can be utilized to answer all of those questions. The next step is the measurement stage. You've put beautiful content out in the world. Now it's time to learn from it. Data can be utilized in many ways in this stage to measure things like how has your content impacted brand awareness and sentiment? How are you outperforming against competitors? Have you regained market share? Are you beating average marks like open rates and traffic? Data utilization is critical at this stage to put your performance in context. Finally, the last step is optimization. Data can be utilized in this stage to double down on your investments in the right way. For example, let's say you planned, ideated, and distributed a piece of content and your measurement says it's attracting great traffic, it's attracting all the right eyeballs to your site. Optimization of this insight might mean putting more money behind that content or repurposing that content across additional channels to broaden your reach. Finally, to tie this all together, let's use the data triad. The data triad is designed to take all of your data gathering, analyzing, and utilizing and look at it through a human lens. If you ever find yourself in doubt with data or how to use it, just stop and think about this pyramid. You might be thinking, trying to better understand my audience. In that case, think about it through a lens of intimacy. Intimacy, after all, is what you seek with your audience. Think about asking yourself questions like, what discussions is my audience engaging in, and how can I better contribute? Or perhaps you're facing an efficacy or efficiency problem. In that case, approach your data through the lens of operations. And finally, perhaps you're trying to determine what moves will give you a bigger advantage over the competition. In that case, think of your data through a wisdom lens. Ask yourself, what information do I need on my market to better inform these decisions? This humanized lens of wisdom, intimacy, and operations can help to demystify your data processes and connect your efforts to a more personal level that you and your team can better relate to. To summarize our session today, if you were inspired to increase your data IQ, break it down into 3 key areas. You can better gather data by breaking it down by velocity, scope, and versatility. To analyze your data, remind yourself of the key metrics that are available to you and what they indicate to your team. Search and social data, we remind you, is readily available, it's fast moving, and it provides a near real-time connection to your audience and your market. Finally, to better utilize your data, break its application down into key steps in the content creation process. Or you can humanize it through the lens of the data triad. Is this an intimacy issue, an operations issue, or a wisdom issue? Framing your data through these more human terms can help you have better connection to what you're finally trying to understand through your data. Thank you all for spending time today. We would love to discuss data in more depth with you anytime. You can visit our website to download more information, or you can email us at learnmore@skyward.com. We hope to speak with you soon.